Crowdfunding and content creation. So this is an exciting topic because about 10 years ago, I guess, just this meteoric like bomb just hit the hit the board game industry, and it was like a good bomb because yeah, it was Kickstarter and crowdfunding platforms sort of entering the space, and suddenly allowing all these indie companies and independent creators and things like that to just put their projects out there and start getting money for them and making them. And we've seen some incredible successes. You know, there's Cards Against Humanity, there's Gloomhaven, there's a whole range of what was it, Unstable, Exploding Kittens, and all of that. Like entire multi-million-dollar companies have been built on a strong foundation of initial crowdfunding setting them up. And that's hopefully the journey that Half Monster Games is taking, and possibly sort of future science-based tabletop games that we're making at QET. But crowdfunding is really cool because it is, you don't have to compete for very limited slots at a publisher. There's a lot of disadvantages in that you have to do a lot more work yourself. But that's what the bridge is for, because a lot of these things can be done, especially at the smaller scale. And in fact, the more successful, if you have more successful products in your lineup, that can be a boon towards showing a publisher that you know what you're doing, and that you can make games, and you can make stuff that people like, and things like that. So in terms of crowdfunding, there's, again, 3 different things that I recommend that you do. I am by no means a crowdfunding expert. There are lots more out there. Jeremy Stonemeyer I've been saying that wrong the whole time. Stonemeyer Games has something like 100 or so blog articles about all of this kind of stuff, and I would recommend taking a look. I think that there is still space to innovate in the industry, but he is very well respected as a person that has a lot of good advice about this kind of stuff. But yes, so I would recommend, the first thing I would recommend is, again, starting early with talking to people about your project. So even if it's not complete, even if it's not necessarily ready for testing just yet, try and talk to people about it and get them invested. And then, because what will happen is that if you tell one person and get them kind of excited about your idea, which they will be if you're excited about it, they will know something like 5 to 10 other people who might also be excited about it. Okay, and so if you do 5, even just talk to 5 people, like workers, co-mates, family members, stuff like that, then you'll have sort of like 25 people, and then if the idea is cool enough, which hopefully it is, you'll have, oh my goodness, so 25 times 5, 125? I'm bad at maths, but anyway. So it's like an exponential reach for what you're working on. And starting earlier is better because you can just build that up over time and actually use that to hone your message. Like, what do people find most attractive about the game that you're creating? And then how do you get that, refine that message and get it out into the world? So that's number 1. Number 2 is, I would recommend when you are building a crowdfunding page, if that's the way that you're doing funding, is that you look at a page of sort of a successful, or like really successful, if you can find it, crowdfunding campaign that's been run, and look at their page and essentially just map the same information to the same spots. That's what I've done in the past, and it's really good because there are people out there whose entire job it is to make amazing crowdfunding pages, and there's no reason that you can't sort of, just like film directors will look at films they like and take inspiration and ideas from it, you can do that as long as you're not directly copying. Take inspiration from the good work that other people have done and sort of build on it and make it your own. So that's my second recommendation. And also, my third recommendation is, in terms of content creation for it, just put stuff out there. So the way algorithms work and the way social media and sort of emails and getting and building an audience works is, the more common your content is, as long as it's not revolting and completely repulsive, it will be favored, and more people will hear about what you're making. So videos are really good. People really prefer videos at the moment in 2020, December. It's stories on Instagram and Facebook are really popular. But yeah, just start getting stuff out there. And what that will help you do then also is to make some kind of video for your Kickstarter page, because that is very important. Or Kickstarter or Indiegogo or GameFound is the latest one, I think. But anyway, because the video is very important, and it doesn't have to be serious, and it doesn't have to emulate the multi-million-dollar ones. It just has to be, it can even just be you and some friends playing the game and saying like, hey, I think this is a really cool game. This is how it works. This is why I think you should get it. And because you're making a science-based tabletop game with educational value, put that in there and say like, this is what it teaches. This is why it is of value to everyone. And I would also really recommend one common thing, step 4, I'm adding an extra step here at the last minute, is a lot of campaigns from first-time creators are pitched around, are pitched higher than they need to be, in the sense that they haven't done due diligence in terms of finding ways to make their game more affordable or cheaper to manufacture or something like that. So that's what this note is all about, and I'll be talking about getting quotes from actual manufacturers and not going through things like Boardgame Crafter or Game Crafter or Boardgame Maker, because they're very expensive to do at large scales. But yes, it is preferable to work on finding the cheapest way to create your game rather than running a crowdfunding campaign and it not funding and then almost immediately sort of realizing, oh, there's other manufacturing options that I could have gone with, and my campaign actually would have been successful if I'd identified that before I launched, if that makes sense. So yes, the principal materials for this section are a range of like little, not templates, but like ideas for idea spaces for content that you might want to create to get your brand and your name out there. So like short videos, like just goofy little things, just making a game about nuclear physics. You can be like, oh, I found the radiation, and then put a like green filter over it, stuff like that. It doesn't have to be incredible. Put effort into it, but the main thing is getting your personality out there and letting people know that you're making a game and that it has value. Another thing that people really love are video testimonies and stuff like that. So all of those ideas are in the downloadable materials. As ever, please let me know what you think in the comments, and any questions or feedback. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, as ever, good luck.